Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and I'm taking off my Air 2S and gonna see how far I can fly. I tried the other day and it wasn't satisfactory to me. What I want to do is be able to watch the construction when they do Highway 24 out to the east, which is to our left there. So I thought, well, I flew over the power lines the other day, and that didn't turn out too well, so I'll see how far I can go not flying over the power lines. And I don't know if that was why I lost connection sooner, but anyway, so we'll go along here, and we'll see how far I can go. Hopefully, a couple of miles would be good, so we'll see how we do. While we do that, I'll tell you a story. I haven't told stories for a long time, and so I thought, well, I got some stories that I've been thinking about. So I'll go ahead and tell you. This story is about my very first day of teaching high school at Pasco High School in Southeast Washington. I taught industrial arts, which meant I taught drafting and metal shop, and then eventually I taught electronics. So, and I think I've told about that job. But we'll talk about my first day of school. I did fine in student teaching. Didn't have any trouble teaching. It was a fun activity, and I was under the supervision of another teacher. But now I got this job at the high school, and they told me that I would be teaching some drafting classes and some metal shop classes, and I'd have one study hall, and then I'd also have a planning period. And they said, and so when they said study hall, I thought, well, that's a cinch. When I was in high school, the study hall was just a classroom, and everybody came in and sat down and was quiet. And maybe there'd be 20 kids or 30 kids, but they'd all be in one classroom. And they'd be quiet, and I could get some work done, and they could get some work done. So first day of school, the day before school started, I had my lesson plans. I had them all made out, and the night before, I sat down and studied my lesson plans so I wouldn't make a mistake. And so I had that down pretty well. And so next morning, I'm all excited. And back then you had to wear, well, actually it was either a suit or a sports coat and tie. And so I got all ready to go and got in. I think I used my pickup truck, 41 Ford pickup truck. Anyway, got to school and got my room all set, and I looked around, and I had gone off and forgotten my lesson plans. For the first day of school, I had no lesson plans. And, of course, I immediately thought I'm going to run down to the office and use the phone and have my wife bring them to me in her car. So I run down to the office, and I say, can I use the phone? And they say, it's right over there. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, we just moved into that house a few days before, and there was no phone. And so I was stuck without any lesson plans on my very first day of school. And believe it or not, I didn't have that much trouble. It worked out pretty well. Now we're coming up on a spot which I'll show you. We're just coming over it here. And it's an easy ride on my e-bike to get to this spot right here. And I've made a couple of flights out to the east, which is to the left, to see if I could get the construction of Highway 24 when it gets moved down this far. And that's another reason I'm doing this test, is because I want to see how far I can fly, because it's going to be about 2 miles from where I live. So anyway, so so I got through my day really fine, except I had one class where I had in mechanical drawing, and I was, the first day of school, you don't start anything. You introduce and show and give them some demos and so forth. And so I was talking, oh, by the way, there I hit 11,000 feet, and 11,000 feet is a little over 2 miles. And I started to notice that my signal was getting weak, and I'm not one of those guys that goes out until I have to hit return to home. If I can go 2 miles, then I'm satisfied, because I think I can get close enough to the construction of Highway 24. So anyway, had these two boys in my class, in one class where they were sitting back in the corner, and I was introducing things and explaining things, and they were jabbering with each other. And so I said, you guys back there, let's not, just pay attention, or whatever I said. and one of them made a comment, and it was a sarcastic remark of some kind. So little old short me, I went stomping back and looked both of them face to face, and I said, "Is that a threat?" And they apologized, and believe it or not, those two guys turned out to be some of my best students. But right there, I mean, of course, they're all bigger than me and stuff. So I went down during my planning period. I went into the teachers' lounge, and they said, "How's your day going?" I said, "Oh, it's going so good, pretty good." And they asked if I had any trouble. I said, "Oh no, just a couple of guys in the back of my class who were jabbering, and I had to threaten them after they threatened me." "They threatened you?" "Yeah." "What were their names?" And I said, "Well, one of them was Rex Watkins, and the other one was Bill, and I can't remember his last name now." And they said, "You have Rex Watkins in your class?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "He got booted out of school last year because he got in trouble with the principal, and then went over to the principal's house, and with a shotgun blew a hole in the side of the principal's door, a car door. And so he got booted out and got in lots of trouble." And you got him in your class. But as it turned out, because I showed him that I cared about him and so forth, I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a blessed man. And then also, well, one other thing that I didn't have trouble with on the first day, but it built up and built up. My study hall was not a one-room thing. It was with 250 kids in the cafeteria right after lunch. And so they were all fired up, and most of them were just nice, and they'd obey, and they wanted to get their work done. But as time went by, I got a few more smart alecks and rebellious type guys. And this one kid, and then when they would do wrong, I would have them stand in the corner. And this one kid came in one day, and he had some vacuum tubes from a radio, the glass ones, and he had 3 or 4 of them in his hand. He came through the door as I was standing at my desk, threw them. I saw him coming, and I ducked, and they hit the wall behind me and popped and shattered into pieces. And so eventually, after about a week and a half, 2 weeks of that, I went into the principal's office, and I said, "I'm going to have to quit this job." "No, no, 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 no." So he put 2 or 3 assistants in that during that hour, and then of course the next year they didn't require study hall; everybody could go off campus. So anyway, so that it turned out pretty good, and it was really a good job, and I really enjoyed it. And started an electronics club and ham radio club, and just had a lot of fun there. And so here I'm coming back. The drone's coming back because I'm standing down here. I'll show you in a minute here. I'm going to show you something that is really, I've never been able to do this before, and it's coming up here. I flew out to the left, out over those houses over there. There I am standing down there. I flew out to the left and got over those houses, and then I turned around to come back. And when I turned around to come back, a plane flew right over my head, which is, I'm just to the right of this. And so I thought, wow, I've got my new triple tech monitor. There goes that plane. And I didn't see the plane on the monitor because it's obviously too small, but I was able to catch it just after it flew over my head. So it was a very good flight. I enjoyed it, and went over 2 miles, and that was good enough for me. And so I'm really having fun with this and my new triple tech tablet. Well, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.